Hello and welcome to the 7th edition of the Totally Tranmere podcast. I am Matthew Jones from www.total-tranmere.co.uk and www.twitter.com/totaltranmere, and of course today I have with me Paul Harper from paulharper.webs.com and twitter.com/paulharper82. Hello Paul.
Hi Matthew, how are you?
I'm alright, yourself?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you. Happy to be here.
Glad to hear it. We'll obviously get straight stuck in with it first, and we'll go to your emails for the week. We asked you, who was your favourite Tranmere player of 2010, what was your favourite game, and what was your favourite goal? And I believe that Paul has the results.
I do indeed. Okay, let's start with game of 2010. Now, we're on a bit of a budget, so I don't think we've got a drum roll, but here goes anyway. Game of 2010, we had 3 nominations. And we had a joint second place, actually, which was the Southampton home game, where Tranmere won 2-1, and the Ipswich home game, which I think was on Sky, wasn't it? And we won 3-1. They both got a nomination each, but the overwhelming winner, surprise, surprise, was Stockport County away on the last day of last season, when Tranmere, of course, survived in League One.
Not many surprises there, Paul. Great day out and a great game.
It was indeed, apart from the goalpost coming down, which was a bit of a surprise to everyone at Stockport County, I reckon.
Fantastic turnout by the Tranmere fans though that day, and I think that the atmosphere that they created in both stands definitely helped roar the team onto victory.
Yeah, definitely. It was like going back to Wembley, really, with all the support. It was fantastic.
I'd have to say that was certainly my favourite game of 2010, without a doubt.
Yeah, mine too as well, undoubtedly. Right, let's move to goal of 2010, and we had 4 nominations on this one, and we've got a joint third place. My personal favourite came third, which was Dale Jennings' debut strike against Bristol Rovers, and there's only 1 nomination as well for Andy Robinson's goal against Millwall, which is a bit of a surprise. Second place goes to Ian Goodison's superb strike in that 3-0 win at Stockport County on the last day of last season. But the overwhelming victor again is Dale Jennings and his wonder goal against Plymouth in November, where he took on about 3 or 4 defenders and coolly slotted the ball into the bottom corner. So that was the winner of goal of 2010.
I have to say I'm surprised that John Welsh's strike against Walsall's not in there. That was a terrific 40-yard volley, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, indeed. There's been quite a few. We've scored quite a few good goals. I think Welsh has scored another couple of long-range screamers as well. Yeah, those were the 4 nominations that we got. And Jennings' goal against Plymouth was a bit of a stunner, to be honest.
I think we might already have our goal for 2011 after Ian Goodison's goal against Carlisle on Monday.
Yeah, definitely. Nice little long-range strike with his favoured left foot. Brilliant goal. Shall we move on to Player of the Year? So, Player of 2010 for Tranmere Rovers. Voted by you, the listeners. We had 5 nominations, 4 of which were level pegging. So, we've got a joint second place. A bit of a surprise. One was Match Blanchard. He was voted in. We had votes for Enoch Shawumney, who's joint second as well. We had John Welsh, joint second, and Dale Jennings was joint second place as well. So those 4 share second place. But yet again, there was an overwhelming favourite. No surprise here either, really. But Ian Goodison was voted the Totally Tranmere podcast Player of 2010.
I'm quite shocked not to hear Ian Thomas Moore in that list, Paul.
Yeah, no, I mean, we had a good few tweets and texts. Only those 5 players that I mentioned were nominated. So I mean, you could add a number of players as well.
Well, I think Thomas Moore's strop at the start of the season certainly went against him in terms of that, but just totting up his goal total since the start of 2010, and I believe that we're looking at about 18 goals for him since then. So it's a good record for a calendar year to get that many goals.
Yeah, that's surprised me really. He's not been a regular on the score sheet as such this season, but
It's 17 goals, sorry, but still a decent tally.
yeah, definitely, yeah. Be happy with that if he could make it 17 at the end of the season.
So interesting awards there. No surprises certainly in some cases, but some strange omissions. But you the fans vote for it, and I have to say that many people can't argue with the player of the year choice of Ian Goodison.
Definitely not. No, he's been fantastic, and yet again, he started 2011 in the same vein with some good form as well.
Yeah, great strike that against Alan. It is those games last week that we're going to look back on now. Firstly, starting with the Rochdale game, and difficult to take 3-2 defeat, Paul.
Yeah, I mean it was an uphill battle after the early red card. Marlon Bruns was a bit foolish to take matters into his own hands and wipe out Chris O'Grady in the penalty box. Red card, penalty kick, and yeah, it was uphill from there. But we worked really hard to get back on level terms twice. But again, it's the defensive side of the game which is costing us at the moment. Obviously, the penalty was a sloppy bit of defending, and then two corners, I think it was, which were just free headers and should have been defended a lot better by the team.
You've got a question as well. As soon as we got the second goal, we clearly sat back, and very similar thing we did against Walsall on Saturday. Although we were 3-1 up and apparently cruising in that game, we sat back, allowed the opposition onto us, and it's come against us, but on both occasions. And you could say that because of those errors, we've dropped 3 points in the last week.
Yeah, almost definitely. Yeah, I mean, we get back on level terms. Everyone's buzzing. It's just lapses of concentration. Team switching off just for a split second, and those lapses in concentration are costing us goals and obviously costing us points. So it's important that everyone's switched on for 90 minutes.
Definitely is, I have to say. Well, the other game, of course, that we played was against Carlisle on the Bank Holiday Monday. Fantastic win in that match.
Yeah, definitely. It was a brilliant performance. Great to get 3 points. A couple of great goals as well. But the story of the game was all about penalty kicks, wasn't it, really?
Well, the difference of that game, though, of course, was that we didn't sit back once we'd scored our first goal. We kept attacking them, and then despite them making it 1-1, we continued to have a go at them, and we got a deserved winner in the end.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was a battling performance. Perhaps not this game to watch for the spectators, but it was a hard-working performance. Got the 3 points. If we just want to talk about the penalties, I mean, I can't remember a game where there's been 3 penalty kicks in the one game itself, and for them all to be missed was extraordinary, wasn't it? Really.
Well, it was a pretty poor penalty by the Carlisle player, but you've got to hand it to the keeper for Tranmere's penalties. Although Ian Thomas's Moores was at quite a nice height and Cresswell's hit the post, he dived the right way and definitely saved the Ian Thomas Moore one, and perhaps got a hand on the Cresswell one as well. Yeah,
definitely credit to the Carlisle goalkeeper for the saves. The Carlisle penalty was an absolute awful kick. I mean, I was sat behind the goal in the Kop end, and you could just tell from the way he was standing before taking the ball, it was just going to go into the clouds, and I nearly caught it.
I believe that Ian Thomas Moore has never missed a penalty kick for Tranmere before this season, and now he's missed 2, both saved by the Carlisle keeper.
Yeah, a bit of a hoodoo there. Obviously, he scored one at Rochdale, so hopefully he can put that behind him and keep on taking the penalty, putting him away.
Interesting to see Aaron step up to take the second one, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ian's come out in the press and on the club's website and said that perhaps he didn't quite fancy it that the Carlisle goalkeeper had one up against him. So I think they were fighting between Labadie and Creswell as well to take the second one. Apparently Joss is trying to get his way, and maybe he'll take the next one. But we'll wait and see if we get another spot kick given for us.
I think Aaron has certainly got potential to be a spot kick taker for us in the future. He took a brilliant one in the Johnson Paints Trophy first round match against Accrington, I remember, and he's a definite set piece specialist as well. So perhaps there's potential for him in the future.
He strikes the ball really well, to be fair to him. So he just got a bit unlucky on that one. Perhaps it was going to sneak in the corner. I think the goalkeeper did get a slight little touch. If it had hit the inside of the post, perhaps it would have crossed the line. Then we wouldn't be discussing this at all. But, 3 penalties in one game, a bit of a rarity.
He scored an absolutely stunning free kick against Walsall, though 5 days later, of course.
Yeah, definitely a wonderful goal. A great time to score it as well. To put us 2-1 up after we'd conceded an early goal, getting the goal back from the same player, I think it was, the lad with the bald head, number 8. What was his name?
I believe it was Matt Richards.
Matt Richards, yeah, that's it. Giving us a helping hand after we not really started the game too well. He got us back in the game, and then on the stroke of half time, Swell stepped up and he buried the free kick. Goal from 25 yards.
He's now scored 5 goals for Tranmere, all of them free kicks, and 4 of them this season. The other, of course, at home to Southend a couple of years ago. So he's played 47 league games for the club now. Do you think he's progressing? Do you think he's one for the future?
I've got to say, I'm a big Zoom Bakayoko fan, as you know, Matt. I think he's a better option at left back, but Aaron does. I mean, he is good on the set plays. He does strike the ball cleanly. He does cross a good ball. It's the defensive side of the game I think he needs to work on, really.
I remember when I watched him coming up through the youth and reserve teams. They used to have a hell of a strong tackle on him, and he never seemed to hold back. But I think that side of his game has now been quelled a little, and you often see him standing off defenders. And I wonder if he's been coached to do that instead of go into the tackle and take the ball straight away. Because it's only over the last couple of years when that's happened. When Ronnie Moore was here, I certainly remember him still diving into tackles and always taking the ball, maybe giving the free kick away for taking the man, but he very rarely missed the ball when he did that.
Yeah, I remember watching him when he was coming through the ranks as well in a Youth Cup game. And I remember him taking out a winger quite badly, really. He was always a bit hot-headed in the tackle, sliding in, a la Stephen Gerrard yesterday. I mean, he does back off defenders and doesn't really get his foot in. So I'm sure somebody's probably had a word and said, don't make the rash challenges when you don't need to. But there's a time and a place where you've got to actually get your foot in and get close, try and win the ball, and perhaps his silly tackles that he was making on the halfway line. Okay, fair enough to cut those out, but when it's around the box, you don't need to dive in as such, but you need to get your foot in and try and win the ball back.
He's only 21 though, and to have played over 50 games, including cup appearances for the club already, is quite an impressive record. And his contract runs out at the end of the season. You definitely want him to extend his stay, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, like you say, he's a young lad still learning the game. Hopefully, he can carry on improving. Obviously, Bakayoko in the squad if his form dips. I mean, good to have two players, two strong players in every position. Should the worst thing happen?
Is he a kind of player that you can see Tranmere making quite a lot of money for in the future?
Not really. I mean, he's a steady player. He's nothing spectacular. He's not a Jennings where you can see him, moving up the divisions. I think he's, at the moment, I would say he's probably a steady sort of League One player. Can't see him making, the £1 million mark. But you never know. He's got plenty of room still to develop. Hopefully, we can do that at the club. And, you never know. We could make a profit from if the occasion rose where we needed